Bye. So as you can see, lots of wonderful memories, great advice. We're going to double up today. So I'm going to bring in Lizzie Weaver, who is our second alumni chat of the day. And I think she's on the thread. So I'm going to try and invite her right now. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you.
You too. I love your hair. It's always a fun every Facebook post. I'm like, there's a new color.
It's kind of it's like quarantine hair right now.
Yeah, mine's like, it's been down for the first time in, I don't know, 8 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm embracing the weirdness and just
it's just there. I don't know. There's no rules. That's what we keep saying. There's no rules. Nothing matters. It's just
there are no rules. We're all just kind of getting through it as much as
Yes.
Can in our way, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Lizzie, how are you? Where are you? What's up?
Oh my goodness. I'm good. I'm getting a little stir crazy. But I'm currently in Columbia, South Carolina. My girlfriend was a PhD student. Her dissertation was just officially accepted today. So congrats, Dr. Gilbert. But so I've been here for the last 2 years. She's been here for 3. And then we have an upcoming move back to Cortland, New York.
No way.
Yeah, like at the beginning of June. So, I don't know what I'll be doing there, but she'll be a professor. So, we're headed back to New York. So,
yeah, I'm
currently here outside. It's nice out here too. I will send you some sunshine. The high today is like 75, and let me see if I can flip my camera around. I don't know if I can. There you go.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
It's nice and sunny.
It's gorgeous.
But of course, everything outside is closed except for walking. Some of the beaches are closed, but we still live like 2.5-ish hours from most beaches. So, we're here. We're hanging out on our little porch, which is really just the walkway to the house next to our potato plants. Yeah, nothing much is happening here since everything's been closed.
Yeah, it looks good. So Lizzie, just want to kind of introduce yourself. A lot of the students who are going to watch this or are on the feed currently won't know who you are. Like,
yes.
Mr. K and I know who you are. But,
yes.
But just speak to who you are, what you've been doing since high school, and what your involvement was with us.
All right.
Why I asked you on here.
Yes, of course. So my name is Lizzie Weaver. Any of the younger ones on here might know my brother and sister, Danny and Allie. They'll be coming on in the coming days, I believe. I graduated in 2012. After that, I went to the University of Minnesota to get my bachelor's degree in early childhood and deaf education. And I graduated from there a semester early in December of 2015. There's a B. Right as I was finishing my program, I found out that the master's degree I was supposed to go into was not quite what I expected or what I had been told since my freshman year. And so I decided not to go into it. I decided I was gonna figure something else out, and I was kind of turned off from teaching. Both my mom and my sister are teachers, and that's what I had wanted to do. I wanted to teach deaf babies and their families and what their rights are and how to be incorporated in education in the world. Most deaf kids are born to hearing parents, and so hearing parents don't know what the heck is happening. But the master's program kind of didn't lead where I want to, and I was like, I don't like teaching anymore. So I actually, my backup was always medicine, and I decided to go into medical scribing for a little while. I had a friend who did it in the emergency room nearby, and I said, why not? And I got into that really excitedly. It was really fun. I learned a ton, and I had taken very few medical or science classes in college, but I had taken medical terminology. I took Latin at Leroy for 5 years, and so I was really good with vocab, and so that was something I went into for a year out in Minnesota, at 4 different hospitals in the emergency room and in OBGYN. And then my time was up in Minnesota, and I actually moved to Maryland. So I moved to Maryland, and I ended up working for Johns Hopkins in the pediatric orthopedic surgery department as the first and only medical scribe they had. So I wrote their handbook for them and then taught the new person and passed it on. So I worked there for a year, and then I moved to South Carolina, where I didn't know what I was doing again. And I actually went back, used my teaching degree. I taught for a year there's a school near here. It's a public Montessori school, the Early Childhood Education Center. And I had so much fun. I had never seen Montessori in college. I had never seen it in school. I went to a public school. I went to Leroy. And I loved it. And I had 3 to 6 year old kids in my classroom. And it was so much fun. We did so much hands-on stuff and everything. And it was just, I thought it was so great for that age. And I got to meet a ton of new people. Got to use my degree, which I was like very frustrated that I got out of college and wasn't using it and didn't know what I wanted with it anymore. And it kind of felt like a waste. And one, it helped me when I was scribing anyway. And two, when I went back into education, it was super exciting. It was super fun to be able to pull from all of my early childhood info and knowledge that I had. And they were just like the best little guys. I had 10 3 to 6 year olds, and I used to get 10,000 steps in my classroom a day. It was just nonstop all the time. But they were so much fun. And then I stopped because I decided to go to nursing school. So I went to nursing school last fall for a semester. And then there were some program changes happening with the program. And I decided that this wasn't the program that I wanted to do. We also knew we were going to be moving at some point. And so I decided before I got too far into the program and couldn't transfer things to another school, that I was frustrated with the way it was set up, having been a teacher previously and taught in a teaching background.
Sure.
I didn't like the way that it was set up from all admin down. And so I was just like, I stopped before I got ahead. And I went back to working at a restaurant, which was what I had done through high school and college. And then I started being a barista at a local coffee shop. It's owned by a 24-year-old cutie, and she is an entrepreneur on her own. We're a female-run coffee shop. It's all female staff, so that part is kind of fun. It's a rare opportunity to have. And it sounds silly, but there's so much science behind coffee, and there's so much to learn. So since we've been on quarantine, since you can only make so many cups of coffee a day at home, we've been doing a lot of online education for it, and it's been really neat to learn where our coffee comes from and all of that and how it gets here and those kinds of things. So it's kind of nerdy, but it's fun.
Cool.
But since we're moving, I'll be looking back into going back to nursing school. I kind of wish I had done it before. Right now, they need us, I guess.
And you would be a great nurse.
But I loved working in the pediatrics when I was at Hopkins, and it just the little ones are just my favorite. I've babysat your little ones. I've held every single one of them.
They're not little they're not as little anymore.
I know.
Was it last week? I was talking about how your mom used to steal Alan out of the porta potty.
Yep.
And I'm like,
yep.
Oh my gosh.
Where's my child? I don't, yeah. Yes.
Great.
Oh my gosh. The little one that I used to babysit when I was like 13, McKenna Cohn just finished her freshman year of college. And I was like, that's not real. That's not real.
But
so it's crazy.
I know.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I had a lot of fun in college. I've had a lot of fun since high school. So it's been neat.
And you've experienced a lot of things, which I think is awesome, because that's what life is about. And the more you do, the more you learn, and it's just it's fantastic. And
building off Ashley, I thought I knew what I wanted. I still don't. I'm 26. I still don't know. It's okay. It's been stressful at times to not know what's next, or have something lined up, but it's always worked out. I've spent a lot of time putting in applications different places, but it's always worked out in one way or another, and been fun. It's been fun being here. I get to play cheerleader to my girlfriend and our roommate. We're both in the PhD program. I'm a cook at home, which is really, I love cooking, but we always joke that they're PhD students, so they're already angry at everything. Making them hungry on top of that is the worst news in the
not
world.
A good
so,
plan.
no. So being, making sure food is around was a good thing for me. But in terms of like high school involvement in musical, I actually started in, in 7th grade, I believe. I was in the crew for Damn Yankees.
Hello, friends. 'Tis that time. It is Wednesday at 2. So welcome to another live. I'm going to give everybody a minute to kind of jump on. Hi, Ashley. So a few things while I'm waiting for everybody to jump on. Our career speaker for today had to reschedule because he had a family emergency. So we will have him come back on another day. But I do have 2 really fantastic alumni to chat with us today about where they are in life and what is going on with them and what their involvement in the music and theater department were. And so I know for some of you it was a really hard week. I'm feeling that as well. Don't forget, those of you who were a part of Into the Woods, we are doing a Zoom meeting today at 3 o'clock. Information is on the Google Classroom, so make sure you check it out. We're hoping to have as many of you there as possible. I'd love to have so many people that I need several sheets in Zoom today. So today we have 2 awesome alumni. Ashley Maurer, some of you might know her as Ashley Webb, is our first one, and then Lizzie Weaver of the 3 Weaver children will be with us the second half. So just like our other chats, I know they're going to be fantastic and really give us some insight into what it's been like since they've been at high school. So as always, for those of you who missed this, if you are not available right now, feel free to jump on later and watch it archived on our live, or you can check it out on my YouTube channel. So, all right, I am going to invite Ashley to join me, and she already sent me a request, so that just makes my life easier.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Super fun.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
You as well. I've been trying to watch them, the other ones. It's so fun. I feel like I haven't seen any of these people in such a long time.
Yeah, that's what Erica was saying. It's like she's connecting with people that she hasn't connected with in a while, and it's because we're isolated.
Yeah, for real.
But how are things for you? Now, where are you?
I'm in Texas, so in San Angelo, Texas. That's why I'm outside. It's supposed to be 89 degrees today, I think.
Wow, send us some warmth, please.
Yes, warmth to you. I hear that there's snow predicted for Friday, so
I'm just gonna close my eyes.
yeah, just pretend that you're here. You can just call me and I'll like send the sun.
Show me the sunshine. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I love it. I love it. Ashley, because a lot of the followers are not going to know who you are.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself and then kind of explain how you were involved with the music department.
Okay, sure. I'm an alumni from Elam. I'm also an alumni from Elam, but I'm an alumni from Leroy. From 2014 is when I graduated. Can you hear me okay? Because I have feedback from my. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2014. I did musicals the entire time. I was in the pit for the first 2 years, and then I did cast, but I'll come back to that. After I graduated, I went straight to Elam Bible Institute in college, where I was there for 2 years, and I got my associate's degree in applied science and biblical and theological studies, which is a super long title for a degree, but I actually have been working at Elam since I graduated from Elam, which was in 2016. So I have been working there for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years now. I actually work part-time remote, so Elam is in Lima, New York, but I work 20 hours a week from my office. So when all this coronavirus stuff started, I was already working from home, so not really anything has changed for us, which is good. My husband is Sam Maurer. I married him in January of 2016, so we've been married for over 4 years, which seems like forever. He went to prom with me my junior and senior year of high school, so we've been together for a long time. He is an officer in the Air Force, which is why we moved down to Texas. He'll be doing his training for the Air Force for intelligence, starting hopefully at the end of this month. It's a 6-month training, and then we'll move again somewhere else, which we don't know yet. So we're here temporarily, basically for quarantine, and then once everything's starting to get back to normal, we'll move again. So it's been super nice to connect with everybody. My job at Elam, I guess I didn't say, I work in the institutional effectiveness department. So basically I do reporting and data analysis and student evaluations and stuff for the school.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been up to. I got a cat like a month ago.
That's
almost.
good.
Yeah.
Cat therapy.
For real. I knew I wanted a cat. I had cats in high school, and then we couldn't have it at our apartment where we first lived. And then I got one. Her name is Maggie. If you follow me on Instagram, which probably none of you do, but I post pictures of her all the time. She's super cute, but it's been so great to have her with the quarantine, because you're like home all the time, and Sam's great, but he likes to play his video games, and then like then I have my kitty, and she can sit with me and watch my shows because she doesn't care what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's very cool that you can work in Texas and stay with the same job. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
I know. I was so grateful. When I started, I actually worked in the academic office, and I was kind of like a secretary, half that and half what I do now. And so when I knew I was leaving, like Sam knew he was going to go into the Air Force when we got married. So like I told him when I started, I'll be here for 3 years, but then we're moving. Like that's just what's going to happen. So they knew, and then they made it work for me to stay on 20 hours a week and keep doing about part of my job. Somebody else took the other half, who was part-time. So now she's full-time.
Right.
Yeah. And so it worked out super well. It's been, I mean, I don't love going to work every morning. Some days I'm like, I wish I was on quarantine and I could just not do work, but I don't want to, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are really struggling with not having jobs. So I'm like so grateful that I can still do it.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Our job has just changed. You know, we're still home, but as teachers, I'm doing things that I never thought I would be doing to interact with my students.
Sure.
Like something on an Instagram live.
Right? Yeah.
Never thought that would happen, but you know, they've given us some strange lemons, and we're just trying to figure out what to do with them. So this works. I'm enjoying it, and it's good for me because I get to see all of you. So it's a win.
I know. It's so great.
It is. It's a win. Do you want to talk to them about what musicals you were in high school?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said before, I started in the pit. Actually, when I was in 7th grade and 8th grade, they didn't let us do musicals. They let you audition, but most of the time you didn't get in. In 8th grade, they started letting a few people in. So in 7th grade was Beauty and the Beast, and I loved that. I actually had exchange students at the time. So my first exchange student era was in the musical Beauty and the Beast. And then we did Curtains the year after, which my second exchange student was in, which was so fun. And then I started in the cast, which I had wanted to be in the cast the whole time, but you know, I played French horn. I loved being in the pit. It was a whole nother experience than being on cast, but both, like, it's just one big happy family. So it doesn't really matter where you are, you're involved and everyone's there and it's super fun. But yeah, in ninth grade, I auditioned. I was just like expecting to be an ensemble, and then I got to be a street urchin, which was super fun. A stoop lady, in Little Shop of Horrors. So there were originally only 3 street urchins, but then Miss McLean made a 4th one. So I got to be a 4th street urchin, which was super fun. I have one of my favorite memories from that show specifically was when we were the opening scene. So it was Emily and Grace and Margaret and me. And we were all backstage, like right behind the curtain, because we all came on very first thing. And we would all talk about how much we felt like we had to poop because we were like so nervous. It was like the funniest thing. I don't know if that's like too much for your Instagram live, but
you know what?
It was so funny.
That is really
and we were just nervous, but like excited because we were like the first thing and let's go. And it was super fun.
It was weird. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what
and then in 10th grade was Cinderella. Erica Parker was on here last week and I was her counterpart. We were the stepsisters together, so that was super fun. I have favorite memories from everything, so I'll just share my other favorite memory from this one.
Yeah.
There was a scene with Erica and her skirt had gotten caught on her fat suit. And I don't think she knew, but she was exiting and people were laughing. So then she just started like shaking her booty and you could like tell that her skirt was up and it was so funny.